Hi Virgo, welcome to the New Moon in Capricorn reading for January 11th, 2024. 2024 is going to be an 8 year. That is a lot of energy, a lot of power. The problem with that is that you can use this to go both ways, right? For good or its opposite. So there can be a lot of tricksters uh, during this year as well. So, yeah, you'll have to use your good intuition to know what's true and who is true and that sort of thing. Um, but it is a good focus. Things can move quite swiftly. It's a power number. It's a good number. I really like it. And I tend to use it for good. So I guess that's a good one. It's also going to be a dragon year, a wood dragon year in February. So that's also a big, really powerful energy as well. So a power year. In any case, let's see what the focus is for this new moon. New moons bring in new cycles. Um, and the direction this reading is going in is status quo, number 2 cycle. Everything kind of stays the same, or you want it to stay the same. Maybe you don't want a lot of change, or there probably won't be a lot of change. If there is, you probably want it to just stay the way it is. Your focus. And number 2 is duality, so there's always choices, and maybe that's where the status quo comes in, and you choose for things to remain the same for the next 2 weeks in any case. You have the 7 of Wands as a focus, so you can run up against a few things. These are situations, people that try to knock you down from your position, but you hold firm because you have a higher perspective. It can be a competitive 2 weeks, so maybe there's some competition around. It can be a bit of a surprise attack or something that, and I don't mean that in a negative way, but because he's got 2 different pairs of shoes on, so he had to run out of the house pretty quick to defend his beliefs or his house or his property or whatever is going on in this photo or in this card. But in any case, with a higher perspective, you can win out over the competition. 7 is a surprise number, though. It's something that is unique or something unexpected. It's also closest to God, they say. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and lay out the cards first. Oh, nice. The first column is where you are when you find yourself at the new moon, or something that you are beginning around this time, and it is definitely pretends a new cycle, and we are with the cycle card here with the status quo. Even though we want to keep things the same, there can be some surprises that maybe throw us for a loop. The second column is you, how you're behaving, how you're dealing with the situation, what you're thinking about it, what you're doing about it, and what you're thinking about it, right? And the last column is the probable outcome. Like I said, some things we can change, some things we are meant to experience, always for our growth. And it's a good way to see the 7 of Wands as a higher perspective to any challenges or things that we may come up against in the next 2 weeks. Okay. Make sure everything's okay. Okay. Let's go to the first column here. What is happening? What's new cycle is beginning? I think in lieu of this card, the Sun card is a pretty happy card, right? It's joy, it's being social, it is healing, it's feeling young and youthful and vibrant. It can be that you might be in the spotlight, but it's also, when aspected negatively, mania. And so there can be some emotional and mental situation, maybe a feeling of like we're feeling a little bit separate. This is the card of separation. Maybe this is something that has happened already, though, because on the flip side, on the positive side of the Three of Swords, for me, the Two of Swords is like the cut, right? That made the cut, the decision, and the Three of Swords is dealing with it, but it is also then renewing and rebuilding and restructuring, and that may be where the Sun is concerned. Now, this can be a couple of things. We can be putting too much emphasis on feeling separate, or this can also be inclement weather. So maybe there was nice sunny weather, and then all of a sudden it goes quite bad, and we're in the middle of winter here, so can be inclement weather, but it can also be distance, that we're feeling distant from people. So coming off of the holidays, maybe we felt the mania of the holidays, right? The good cheer, the festivities, the parties, and now we're heading back home, going back to work, that sort of thing, and we have to deal with maybe leaving loved ones that we were visiting, or that sort of thing. But it can also be the restructuring and rebuilding of something, because remember, this is a healing card, and so that may be for some. I guess everybody can be, it's a general reading, so I think that people can be experiencing a few things. Not everybody is experiencing the same thing, but there's a general energy of the two. But let me get another card for that, and we'll hone in on it a little bit. For me, it does feel like there's some healing after a situation, and then getting back to business, right? With status quo, just getting back to the usual. And that can make us feel a little weird, right? There's hope here. So 2 major arcana cards. That's nice. No, okay, so for me it feels more like restructuring, rebuilding after this separation, after the fun is over, after the party's gone, and we have to clean up after it, put away the decorations, and get back to status quo, business as usual, like I said. So the Star card is a hopeful card, something that we're looking forward to towards the future. So again, restructuring, renewing, and looking towards a new cycle, because we are dealing with cycles here. The Star card is hope and feeling like we're being led somewhere, like there's a direction that we're heading in. For a lot of people, it can just be like really kind of focusing in on your New Year's resolutions. But it is a hopeful card, and it is something that's geared toward the future. And this can be a real focus and a real, because the Sun is giving, right? It just gives. Can be that we are really focused and highlighting hope for the new future, for renewing, rebuilding, and restructuring. Because let's face it, 2023 was not the easiest year, and maybe even the last few years, not the easiest ones to deal with. And so maybe we're hopeful for this one that it can be a better one. How you're behaving. You have the King of Pentacles and the Seven of Pentacles. So we are definitely busy with the material, the things of the earth. King of Pentacles is highly, highly focused on having it all. These can be the CEOs. These are people who are very, very focused. And not only that, they take very small steps to make big changes. They're persistent, they're diligent in their efforts, and there does seem to be, again, this kind of feeling of editing. This is a very reflective card, right? And so, like I said, we could be thinking about the past and the things that have happened in the past, and wanting to know, okay, what's the best thing to do in the future? How do I want to go forward now? It's kind of, again, like his harvest. Do I want to plant corn again? Did it turn out that well? Maybe beans are better, maybe, tomatoes or whatever. But it is sort of like reconsidering how we want to plant our next harvest, so to speak. Okay? And you have 2 sevens here. So Let's see. Let's get another one for that. It feels to me like you're quite busy with... you may have something really firm to offer here in regards to change and renewal and rebuilding with the Knight of Pentacles. This is a good, solid, firm offer. There can feel like there's some procrastination. This is the only Knight that isn't moving, and so timing is really important here. And I see that with this card, with the Star card. Something we're dealing with, moving towards the future with. But this is a good firm offer that you could be sending out, because it's heading in that direction. Plus it's in the column of you and how you're dealing with the situation and what you're doing. I think your head is really in the material, the things of the earth, maybe making money, how you're going to spend money, budgeting, that sort of thing. Investing, that's also possible here. But it is definitely, maybe there's something very particular that you want to purchase this year, or maybe a very big purchase, because you see the King of Pentacles is master of his physical reality, and so he doesn't really usually mess around with little things. Maybe it can be a business of your own. Maybe you're you might be looking for a new opportunity, whether that's a new position or, like I said, you have something very firm to offer here with that Knight of Pentacles. Maybe there were too many things that you ran up against prior, right? Because this is your focus. There's too many things happening, or too many situations, people, places that are trying to challenge you a little bit. And maybe you prefer to, we maybe want to look to other places, other situations, that sort of thing. The Ten of Swords and the outcome, and the Five of Pentacles. Ten of Swords is the end of difficult mental situations, but it certainly comes with its exhaustion. So it feels to me like you're putting in a lot of effort here, and you want to avoid burnout with that Ten of Swords, whether it's mental or physical. Your perspective is really important here, especially with that Five of Pentacles, because the Five of Pentacles are challenges that we face together, but it's also a lack mentality. And it feels to me like with the status quo card, things are changing, but you may not want them to. The Ten of Swords is the end of a cycle, the beginning of something new simultaneously. That's what 10 is. And again, this is on a very mental or action level. And I've picked this up for other people as well, that maybe you didn't get the promotion, the opportunity, the raise that you wanted, especially with that Five of Pentacles. And so you may look elsewhere. Perhaps there were some layoffs because of the Three of Swords, and we're leaving a situation. But these are challenges that we face together. The Ten of Swords, though, kind of makes it difficult. It feels to me like somebody, whether that's you or not, and I say again, the King of Pentacles, even the Knight of Pentacles, they're very persistent. But somebody's tired. Somebody's had enough. And can be feeling a little weary. So I have a King of Cups with that. This is my Cancer card. This is somebody round in features. Usually very intelligent people. They are somebody, they're stoic. They have a lot of emotion, but the King of Cups is either mastering his emotions, or he is master of his emotional world. Like the calm in the storm, right? There's stormy waters all around him, but he's on concrete. He's on solid ground. But that's where the stoicism comes in. They don't often show their emotion. These are people who are usually highly intelligent. They really enjoy history. They are, think of the crab, right? A hard outer shell, but they're mush inside. And so it's very often that they don't show that emotion for protective reasons. And this is somebody that you're dealing with here. This is somebody who may be going through some difficulty, and you may be the person who's offering some help to this individual, who can be maybe somebody at a distance, somebody that's leaving, or you can be planning something new with a person who's having some difficulty. There can be some plans for the future for them. And like I said, there's a feeling of wanting things to remain the same, but there's endings here, there's changes. And the Knight of Pentacles is also somebody, like I said, who isn't really in motion. He's kind of static. But again, timing is really important. And we have the Star card here, and the Star card is always something that is towards the future. But it seems to me like you're the one who's reassessing situations and has the opportunity to offer something to somebody else. What the Spirit wants you to know, well, you have birth. Be receptive to new ideas, a child or a situation. So indeed, there is something new that's being established here. So this is for me reiterating the idea of renewal, rebuilding, rebirth, that sort of thing. And it seems to me like it's quite necessary here with that Ten of Swords and the Five of Pentacles. So all's well that ends well. Even though I think in the next 2 weeks I don't think things will be solved. I think there'll be the feeling of I just can't do this anymore. And again, whether that's with you or with another person. This is enlightenment as well. So something can come up here that helps us to, that gives us an impetus or gives us the idea or the energy of renewing and rebuilding situations. Okay, interesting. I hope this has been helpful. I'll return in 2 weeks. And remember, this is the beginning of a new cycle, so we haven't quite established that ending yet, or the outcome. So it feels to me like in these next 2 weeks, we're still kind of going to be dealing with this situation. And I don't think it'll come full circle yet, but there is a birth here of something new, and that's nice. That's hopeful, right? Okay. Thank you for listening. Hope this has been helpful. Talk to you in 2 weeks with a full moon reading. Until then, take good care. And again, thanks for listening. It's appreciated. Bye for now.